This week's episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Squarespace,
Gamefly,
and GoDaddy.com. Coming up on this week's Totally Rad Show, we are talking about the movie Alice in Wonderland and a potential Police Academy reboot. In video games, we're talking about Battlefield Bad Company 2 and maybe Portal 2. And we're answering your Twitter questions. Or turtle questions.
Three rad aristocrats are mugged and shot at, coming home from a matinee, rat-a-tat-tat. Now they dress up like bats, prowl the night in combat, a penguin in a hat and a feminine cat. But the criminal that fell into a vat always laughs as they chat about films like Borat. He's just being a brat, making fun of the fact their costumes make them look fat on the Totally Rad Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Totally Rad Show, episode number 155. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Totally Rad Show. Was that?
That was me doing it in Jeff's voice.
Oh, that was you doing Jeff?
Yeah.
Amazing. Totally Rad Show is a weekly dose of all things rad. We unfortunately still point to ourselves. I had to do it. I don't know. It just happened this week.
You can do it.
Whatever. We are going to be talking about Alice in Wonderland, and this may be one of my favorite backgrounds that we've had.
It's a good one. Kyle Lane sent it in for us. We appreciate getting these user-submitted backgrounds.
feel like
oh,
I
yeah.
gotta kinda
You always
go
got to
away,
give it a little berth.
Something.
Berth? A wide berth. B-E-R-T-H.
Ah.
Yes.
I didn't. You just start spelling your words when you say them for us, please.
Yes, please.
What were you going to say? You were going to say something about the Temple of Doom.
Kalima Shakti Day?
Yes.
No. I was going to talk about it in our review of Bad Company.
Oh,
okay.
That's what's so weird.
Which is why it was weird, because I was going to actually bring it up in that review as well.
Yeah,
Well, let's get to it.
Say.
Shall we?
This week in movies, we're talking about Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland.
Long time coming.
Long time coming. Funny you should say that, because what I was going to say
Funny
is
or
that...
poignant?
Funny. And poignant. Because Tim Burton has basically done a version of the Alice in Wonderland story throughout his entire career. And now he finally does the source material. Alice in Wonderland stars Mia Wasikowska as Alice, who enters the Wonderland featuring the Mad Hatter, played by Johnny Depp, and the Red Queen, Helena Bonham Carter, and the White Queen, Anne Hathaway. We saw it in IMAX 3D.
Yeah, at the IMAX headquarters, which is pretty pimp.
Pretty
Not
pimp.
gonna lie to you. In the theater that Tim Burton actually checked off on the IMAX version. We were in that same theater. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
You saw the check mark still there.
I did, yeah.
You saw it in Disney Digital 3D.
I did.
No one saw in 2D here.
Nope. But it wasn't shot in 3D like Avatar.
Right.
No.
Which is an important distinction.
Very important distinction. So we're going to see a whole crop of movie. They just announced Clash of the Titans. They announced a few other films that are all getting the post-production 3D conversion.
Correct.
None of these movies are like Avatar, that was actually shot in 3D with 3D cameras.
Displayed in 3D, correct.
Right. So this is our first take. We saw Star Wars, some scenes from A New Hope back in the day. The animated films like Up and all those get this kind of conversion, but this is our first real glimpse at watching a feature film in this process.
Interesting. It's almost like it could be a second whole thing to review, is the process of watching a 3D movie instead of a 2D movie. But
So
anyway.
I definitely want to hear how you felt the 3D was in this movie, but also, what did you think of the movie?
So, I really like Tim Burton's stuff. Did not really like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I kind of fear that maybe I'm going to get to a point where I just sort of don't like his stuff anymore, because though this movie was beautiful and imaginative, and I thought there were some great performances.
Lots of spiral shapes.
Lots of spiral shapes.
Which you're a huge fan of.
Love me some spirals. It's my favorite shape. That birthmark I have.
Dude, I
amazing.
cannot decide what my favorite shape is.
Don't take spirals, because I got that. So here's
I go
the
back
thing.
and forth.
Here's
Mine
the
is
thing.
the,
Dodecahedron.
No, mine is the line, because in Tetris, that's the thing that you're always waiting for.
All right, touche. I think inevitably the movie in and of itself was just a little boring. I didn't really care for the characters so much. There were a couple scenes where, like, this thing was happening and Alice was doing the thing and and the music was swelling and I was like, oh, this is the part at which I would be moved to, like, this is
to stand up in your
stand
chair
up in my chair and go, yeah. Well, because like most movies will get you to do that at the time at which it's happening. And with this movie, I just felt like everything was there. It was almost like I could see all the pieces of a great story and a great movie, and it just didn't make me care about it as much. But I loved the characters. I loved a lot of the stuff. It just was sort of at the end, I was like, okay.
Well, how do you feel about it, Jeff?
You know, it's interesting
And
that
I didn't talk anything about the 3D, but we'll talk
it's
about
interesting
that
that Tim Burton has been doing so many of these remakes. You know, Planet of the Apes, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There's so much that he's been wrapped up in lately that are remakes. And like a lot of those other remakes, I think this is a mixed bag. I think there's some really great stuff, particularly visually. Every time Helena Bonham Carter is on screen, I was entertained. She is...
Her and the frog scene was the best thing that ever happened. And the March Hare was also, anytime he was on stage.
She is so... I loved all the stuff in this movie that involved manipulating live action performances into weird...
Did you like the Crispin Glover version of that?
Not really.
I did not like that.
But I love how the disproportionate things that they did. It's something you've never seen before on screen, and it's really interesting. I didn't think that the fully CG characters like
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
No, those weren't fully CG. I mean, those were like guys who were weirded out, right? Those are real actors. I'm talking about like the real animated characters, like the bunny, and you know, I didn't think those worked as well because they looked like an animated. Something you would see in Alice in Wonderland, the old Disney cartoon, and it didn't mesh well to me. I didn't think the movie was that great, and honestly, I was very confused. I'm not somebody who has read any of the Alice in Wonderland books. All I know is really the old Disney cartoon.
Yeah.
But this felt like a weird sequel to Alice in Wonderland, not actually Alice in Wonderland, and it also had the Jabberwocky, so it had like other elements of stuff that it just didn't, it seemed odd, and it had way too much Mad Hatter. It felt like we cast Johnny Depp, so let's write up that part.
Yeah, I didn't actually like his character as a Mad Hatter.
It felt bizarre, and he made these weird choices with dialect that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
It's just such a mixed bag. It's such a visually arresting piece that it's easy to recommend seeing it on a big screen in 3D because it's interesting to look at and you kind of get lost in the frame, but it's not a very good movie.
I actually thought this was the best iteration of the Alice in Wonderland story. But I'm pretty sure I'm not a fan of the Alice in Wonderland story.
Pretty sure you're not?
Interesting.
When will you know for sure?
Next
when
one.
I married next one a little bit longer.
Yeah, Alice 2 Electric Boogaloo.
The reason why we love Tim Burton, one of the many reasons, but one of the main reasons, is his production design.
Oh, yeah.
And it destroyed me that this movie was almost entirely CG. Could you imagine watching Beetlejuice and when they get into the miniature town and the rubber grass and the rubber tree was CG?
Yeah.
Terrible.
I don't know. I don't want to impose that bias arbitrarily.
But I think that like Helena Bonham Carter looked amazing. And it
CG.
I thought, well, that real face on a CG body felt so odd. Felt Tim Burton odd.
Right.
Yeah.
But seeing the other cartoon characters, and I could have sworn that Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I wish that Tweedledee and Tweedledum felt like they were in suits. And it
no, well, they were CG, but there was a real actor's face in
I don't think way less as good effect that Helena Bonham Carter's was because they felt like
Hers
CG
was the
characters
best of
to
all
me.
the sort of CG shady
But
ones.
everything, the entire world was so not. Like, there's something interesting about that it's all cartoon, none of it feels odd. And that's what is so interesting about the Tim Burton film is that it had that feeling.
Yeah.
And
So did you like this movie?
No, I didn't really like. I thought it was the best. I thought the
you
beginning.
started out making it sound like you liked it, but then I think I'm getting that you didn't actually like it much.
I think
you just really dislike Alice in Wonderland.
Right. Well, the thing about Alice in Wonderland stories for me is I never really care about what's happening. It's always just a sequence of random events. There's never any drama. I never really understood why people enjoyed it so much. I thought the beginning of the movie, the setup, for the first time, I got Alice, and I really could feel the drama and connect with the character. I think the rest of the story, more so than the other iterations, but for the most part, there was nothing for me to grab onto.
Okay, good. Because I just want to make that clear, because at the beginning it sounded like you liked it really good, better than us, and I was like, more than us.
Basically,
I made a joke. I think you guys missed my joke.
No, you said best.
I said it's the best incarnation
of least bad.
No, right. But my joke was it's the best incarnation of the Alice in Wonderland story, but I don't think I like
I'm
Alice
just
in
glad
Wonderland story.
that, let's just say,
that was the joke that I just repeated.
I've saved you now from being the guy who people go, I loved Alice in Wonderland too, and you go, I didn't say that.
Or maybe they're quicker to the
maybe some of them are.
The uptake.
There's a couple of people out there that are like.
I also think though that it is the best Danny Elfman score we've had in a very long time.
Although what was with that cheesy ass song at the end credits? I was like, really? You're gonna get Miley Cyrus or somebody to do a like weird pop song at the end credits? You have this great
none
Danny
of you guys
Elfman score?
commented on Johnny Depp. I just felt like
he was all that good.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
And I love Johnny Depp. I could Depp it up any time, but I mean that's.
I want to see that.
That's not what I meant.
I don't want to see that. How do you want to see
Honestly, there's too much of him in the movie.
I would like to
that means.
see you and Jeff.
If you know what it felt like.
That's not what that means.
You know what it felt to me
You
like?
really play Parcheesi
Can
with
we
them.
please stay on topic? Yes, Parcheesi. I would own him. Here's what it felt like to me. I always loved The Wizard of Oz, but sometimes I would find out, and I never read any of the books, but I always would find out like, oh, you know, in the sequel to Wizard of Oz, the freaking Scarecrow is like the king, and it's like, and that felt all really wrong. It's like I know those characters. It doesn't feel right to me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how this movie feels with Alice in Wonderland. It's like, why is the Mad Hatter doing all this stuff? It just felt wrong. But maybe that's because I don't know the source material.
Right. Moving on. Interesting news per the release of our archived 80s episode from a few weeks back. They are talking about
Police Academy 17?
bringing back in the Police Academy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, New Line and Warner Brothers have announced they are in development on rebooting
A new Gutenberg vehicle.
Yeah, the new Police Academy movie. I want to get your guys' thoughts. I will say I have two thoughts. If they just do a straight up Police Academy thing, I think Ryan Reynolds is the perfect Steve Gutenberg.
I like
Perfect.
His character's name is Steve Gutenberg.
Mahoney?
Yeah,
I don't
Mahoney.
remember.
Mahoney.
Yeah.
But Mahoney wasn't even in the last two. It was that other guy who I kind of enjoyed in 5, Assignment
Ryan
Miami
Reynolds,
Beach.
huh?
Oh, yeah. The guy
But
who looks like Billy
Jason Lee
Baldwin.
could
But
do it.
I think I would have seen this. Yeah, Jason Lee would have been good. I think this could be an Apatow film.
If they go in that direction, yes. But if they go in the Not Another Teen Movie direction, which they could very easily go.
Like just a parody?
Yeah, parody with
self-referential.
Actually,
nobody
Police
you've ever
Academy
seen
are a
except
parody.
for. No, I know, which is
Yeah.
why it could very easily
Yeah.
be taken on by the guys who did like the Disaster movie.
Oh, I
and
see.
you're like,
Well,
that's
those guys only make those movies though, so.
Yeah, but they could. That's what I'm saying. Is if those people,
All right, yeah.
if it gets treated the way those movies are,
Yeah.
like the 300 remake or whatever it's called, an adventure
movie.
epic movie or
That's what I'm
whatever.
saying, they
I like how
But,
you're
yeah.
arguing to defend the integrity of the Police Academy franchise.
Oh no,
No,
they
but you're
can
saying
totally
how
do
it could
that.
be a good movie.
It could be a good movie.
Like,
it could be
that
Dark Knight
had
for comedy.
no- that had no
Let me be Dark Knight
integrity.
for comedy.
No,
Yes.
let me spell out that good movie for you.
Please, I'd like
I
to.
think instead of Pineapple Express, the way that they treated that kind of thing, we could get if you can even have them as the teachers at a police academy, all the original cast, all the young cast, Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, and
Basically
being
what
like-
they're doing for Ghostbusters.
or what? Yeah, kind of like,
Yeah.
or even maybe a funny, less dark version of the not Paul Blart. What was Seth Rogen's?
Observe and report.
Observe and Report. I mean, that was really dark. I mean, if they did what like their other comedies did, could be
Well,
all right.
I do hope they kind of do this R-rated You know,
Well, I mean, the
R-rated,
original
but-
ones were the sort of 80s
were R.
R-rated show boobs. You know, it was sort of like
The
like
fourth
chase
one-
down 80s movie.
The third and fourth one were PG-13 because those ones I was allowed to see. I wasn't allowed to see the first
Yeah.
one.
I'm not like you guys. Honestly, I'm not precious about those movies at all. I didn't watch them very much. I know you guys can like encyclopedically quote all the plots from all the run.
I can't do that.
I don't feel any sense of ownership on those movies, and I don't honestly.
I just
don't
like
think
them
they're
to
very
be.
good.
I just like it to be a good version of a police account. Using the source material as just a topic to jump off.
I don't
of
exactly.
and
I
having-
don't think you need to
yeah.
be beholden to it, but it would be rad if the original cast were the teachers, and we have all cool people, and it could actually be a good movie.
Yeah.
Because if they just do Police Academy, because they were terrible movies. If they just
Yeah.
do it, we're in bad town.
Yeah. Nobody likes Bad Town.
Reload. Way back in episode number 68, we talked about Battlefield Bad Company. And I went back and actually watched that episode this week.
It's smart. I should have done it because I don't even remember that game. Basically.
Well, I remember that I really, really liked it, and I was thinking that you guys didn't, and I went back and watched it, and I was right. Neither of you guys liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked that game a lot, and I was glad to see that we have a sequel now. It's from DICE, and it is the Battlefield universe, but given a single-player component with a very strong campaign storyline, and it follows a ragtag group of kind of misfit soldiers, each very big personality. It's the same guys from the first game.
But is this modern? And was the other one modern?
Yeah.
Or was
Yes,
it like World
it's
War
funny.
II?
We argued about that in the last episode because
'cause
Dan
I
thought it
said-
was World War II, which
Yeah.
is weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, yeah.
Because I just remember like one
this game
moment from
opened.
the
Well, I guess game opens in
No,
World
yeah,
War
yeah,
II,
yeah.
right? But only briefly.
I had the Japanese import of this game.
Amazing.
Anywho, so this is clearly the sights are set on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Clearly, this is a competitor for that title. In fact, even at one point in the game, they
that was
dissed
awesome.
the
Yeah.
snowmobiling segment.
Oh, and they also did the heartbeat monitor thing. Do you
Yeah,
remember that? That
yeah.
was really funny.
So it's a very intense first-person shooter, and also has a very robust multiplayer first-person mode, where as you would expect from a Battlefield game, they made their hay on Battlefield being a
1942 and all that
huge,
stuff. Yeah,
massive
yeah.
hit in the multiplayer community. But this single-player campaign is pretty robust. Dan, what did you think? Like I said, I remember now seeing that you didn't like the first game.
I did not like the first game.
There's a lot of changes in this one.
This is a phenomenal game. Amazing.
You want to equivocate on that at all, or?
Nope, done.
I'm done.
Reviews over. Done.
The writing's really fun. The characters all say very witty things as you play the game. Makes it a very enjoyable experience. It's kind of like if Call of Duty is just a straight up war game. It's like Saving Private Ryan is World War II, but there's just not a lot of war films set in modern times. So, but it's just a game that's centered around the war. This is telling an action adventure story during in a modern warfare setting.
Right.
So Three Kings is the only example I can really think of.
Well, the first game was very Three Kings.
Right.
I mean, in the sense of them finding gold, and it was very
Exactly.
Three Kings. But this not so much.
It doesn't have that plot, but yet it has the same kind of spirit, where it's an
Sensibility,
action
sure.
adventure. It's almost like Uncharted. It's like, which by the way got me thinking, why don't we have a first-person Uncharted? But anyway. It is great. The music that I was going to bring up, Raiders of the Lost Ark, because there's a couple cues that are straight out of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It has a great score, this game. Every level has an awesome gameplay gimmick that is, like, every single level is like, oh, this is cool. And then, like, when it's freezing cold out and you need to get into
From fire
warmth.
to
So
fire
you
to
got, yeah,
fire.
exactly. You have to create that. And then
That was my favorite level.
Such a level of tension, and usually that would be something that I would be very frustrated by.
Yeah,
they
but-
do it really well here.
And every level has a thing like that, where it's like this level, there's a unique thing to this level. It's a unique setting. I'm not all in one place.
Yeah.
I might even, I think I'm enjoying it more. I haven't completed it. I think I'm enjoying it more than Modern Warfare 2. It's missing some of the AAA polish that game has.
Really? In what way?
Just, I think graphically and.
Oh, I thought it was stunning.
And I think the graphics are good. they're definitely better than the first game, but I don't think it's on the level of Modern Warfare. There's just a lot of like extra things, extra production values that aren't there. The sound is great though.
Yeah.
The sound when you're in it, like an echoey, reverby, like they really paid a lot of attention to the way the gun sounds to you.
It is very much. I totally agree with you. It is an action game. And totally reminded me of playing a first-person Indiana Jones. It's sort of like if, Modern Warfare is sort of a modern version of the Band of Brothers. This is Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. Like, this is an action-adventure story with fun, quippy characters. I loved it. I agree with you with some of with Modern Warfare 2, you never felt like you were out of control. And in this game, there were a lot of immersive moments, but then there were also these weird moments where you were sort of in the first-person phase, but you couldn't do anything, and then it would kind of fade out and then fade back in, and you were then doing it. Whereas with Modern Warfare, I felt like I would be the guy standing there with a gun going, oh, are we going? Oh, something's happening. Whoop, thing blew up. You know what I mean? And then
that's something that really bugged me about the game.
Yeah.
Those blackout transitions, the fade-out blackout transitions.
It really bugged me at the beginning, and then I just sort of let it go and realized it's a great game.
I don't understand why they were...
Whatever. But the other thing that I will say is, I mean, it's a great game, and I'm having as much fun as I did playing Modern Warfare 2. The multiplayer is awesome.
Yeah.
I was a huge PC Battlefield 2 guy. Me and my buddy, we literally took our computers down to La Jolla and freaking sat all weekend and played Battlefield 2.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is that again, but on the console. It's so much. And the weird thing that I think is really interesting is it doesn't have any of the sort of funny. It is a serious It's like
multiplayer
two different
game.
games almost.
It is like two different games, but that's good. I like that because you get that. This is it. You can get, leveling up, great action, but then you also get this really fun story that you can enjoy. And that level with the cold going and then blowing up the cans to have the fire and be amazing.
Yeah, it is a great game. It is like Call of Duty with a sense of humor, which is always refreshing. Yeah. Because Call of Duty, takes itself very seriously.
And it's a good sense of humor. A lot of games try to inject humor and fail.
I actually preferred the story of the first Bad Company to this one. I think it was more fun, even had more fun. It felt, because the first Bad Company, they're these guys who are kind of expendable, and they just keep getting put in these situations where they're expected to fail, and they don't. And that's kind of really fun. Like, they're the bad company who just, throw them at the problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that in this game.
Yeah.
But it is enormous amount of fun. I thought the graphics were great, and I loved the size of the levels. You would walk over a vista, and you would see forever, and it was all ready out there, active for you to participate in.
Dude, when I got my sniper rifle, which is my favorite thing to do ever, you could literally sit on a mountain and snipe 3 objectives in a row while your guys go, and you're just sitting there sniping because you have that distance.
Or that one level, the one sand level.
And even in the multiplayer, the distance is way more.
That one sand level where you have, you have to get those satellite uplinks, and they're all there, and you can drive to whichever one you want. It's huge and awesome.
Yeah.
I do have a few gripes, and it's unfortunate to me that they felt like it seems to me that they felt like they had to take on Call of Duty head on because I think it resulted in them losing some of the things that made the first Bad Company, for me, so special. One of them was they abandoned the really fun stim pack health system, which I loved in the first game, because you could run in, shoot, and then stim yourself and keep going. And now it's just the standard sort of wait and let your health restore. Yeah. Which it isn't as fun.
I died fairly quick too. Like, I felt like I would get shot.
This game is definitely harder than Modern Warfare.
Well, you know what it is? I think it's that red indicator doesn't get as extreme as in a lot of other first-person shooters, and so you just
feel
assume
like
I
can take a couple. And I exploded.
Yeah. The vehicle stuff in this game is awesome. There are really, really cool set-piece moments. Like you said,
dude, the multiplayer stuff, getting in a helicopter. My favorite thing to do in Battlefield 2 was get into a helicopter, and then just be the gunner. You rack up so many points, because if somebody knows what they're doing when they get in to fly it, you're like,
it's got that level up system, too, that we all love and is so addictive. This is an easily recommendable game.
It's not as viscerally satisfying when you kill another player as Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare, with those numbers popping up, the numbers do pop up in multiplayer, but it's more of like a statement. and like a plus number, whereas it's so much like the XP and an MMO over your head. That's really
The one last thing I want to bring up about this game that was in the first game too, and I think really is a +1 to this when compared to, for instance, Call of Duty, is the destructibility of the environments.
Yeah.
It is, and it was in the first game, and I loved it, and it's so awesome to be able to go, I'm shooting that guy, and you know what? I can just switch to grenades and blow up the whole friggin' building he's in.
Yeah.
That is so awesome and so fun.
Even Red Faction had, I don't think, well, but Red Faction is such a different game. The destructibility in this game, the destructibility, in addition to the size, equaled an equation of awesome. Because what this game has over the Modern Warfare game is you see where the design is leading you.
Right.
And you can every time I saw that, I want to do the thing that I shouldn't be doing right now. And every time it equaled the most amazing results. Like going all the way around something and blowing my way through because it's so destructible and like.
Well, there's all those really great levels.
I really was having my own fun with this game.
There's all those great levels where there's a bunch of buildings on stilts and you can like go underneath them and then shoot up.
I don't think I'm there yet. That sounds awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, and the ending is awesome because it sets up for a third game.
I love it.
So I'm happy about that.
That being able to do your own thing, that open world, but different than Grand Theft Auto, open in a kind of confined arena, but really able to do what you want.
It's a linear multi-path game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I made that up. I thought it was going to go over better than it did.
Speaking of interesting games, we were all delighted to see this week that news of Portal 2. Portal being one of our favorite games of a couple of years ago.
Have you played any of the downloadable content? I guess there's like downloadable expansion stuff. I haven't
There's
been
one
playing.
expansion, yeah. Yeah, awesome.
That's all
Well, we all loved Portal. It was part of the Orange Box a couple of years ago, but it looks like Portal 2 is going to be its own standalone full-price product.
As it should.
Which means to me it'll be a much more substantial release. We don't know many details as of this taping. I know there's going to be a cover story in the next Game Informer, which we are not privy to yet. But I'm curious, Alex, what you would want as a wish list. It looks like we're going to get some co-op stuff, which is, I love.
That's my wish list.
But
That's it in a tee. It's wearing a little baby tee.
You loved Portal. We all loved Portal.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to see in the sequel, or is there something that comes to mind that? No.
Co-op. I mean, honestly, multiplayer, that's it. You know what I mean?
Really, multiplayer?
Dude, just think. You have the blue gun, I have the red gun.
Yeah.
Or orange, or whatever.
I mean, co-op together.
So
That's what co-op means. Together.
When you said multiplayer,
you make the closing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one half of the hole.
Yeah.
And the other half.
Or
of the
like
hole.
where you go, or like
You get one hole and I get another hole.
All right.
We just sort of.
Yes.
well, there's even
together we have
an
two
interesting
holes.
combat element if you were to have multiplayer.
Well, but they
where
did
you
that. What
just-
was the game that had multiplayer but had a portal gun? Type of thing.
I don't know.
Whatever. I'm liking
Everyone-
Portal 2.
Sir.
I love this game, and I have many hopes and dreams for what a sequel could be.
And they are
Outlining
a few briefly.
I mean, if you were to be able to have this portal gun and you did not be just in this test facility, if you were to be in the real world,
Well, I have a
and you
feeling
were to
that's-
be
yeah.
against real people, not just machines, and you could be using it. If you were, it's like Mirror's Edge with a portal. I mean, you're just.
This is my dream for Portal 2. Is that Portal was this tiny little prequel
Right.
to this huge, crazy, and still she doesn't have guns.
Right.
You don't pick up a rocket launcher.
Right.
You're fighting and you're using cunning and wits and you're getting around dudes and it's in an enormous Half-Life 2-esque world.
Yeah.
Which they could
Sign
do.
me
Which
up.
they could do. It's already in the Half-Life 2 engine.
I know. I honestly think that's what it's going to be,
Yeah.
and I think that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen, dudes.
I'm going to start coding tomorrow.
Blow it up!
Hey, we're back doing Twitter questions.
Yeah.
Once again, instead
done
of
it in a while.
answering an email, we are going to go to the Twitter
Rapid fire.
and rocket
As
through.
rapid as we go.
Yeah.
Which is
Semi-automatic.
And you guys have been asking us questions at Totally Rad Show on
Yes,
Twitter.
and thank you for that.
And we're going to start right now
What do we
with Dave J.E.
Oh, good
asks,
JE.
as a kid, I would browse VHS covers at the local video store, especially horror. Any covers you remember vividly?
Covers.
Phantasm, the guy with the like weird ball coming out with its drills.
The sequels are called The Sequel with Balls.
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser, yeah, the Pinhead guy was really
I've
intense.
never seen those movies.
Really?
Any of them.
First one's good.
First one's
Actually,
really
they're all
good.
kind of creepy.
Yeah.
The first
I've never
two.
seen them because I was never able to see them. I wasn't allowed to, and I just never got around to seeing them.
I vividly remember 4D Man. To this day, 4D Man, and I've never seen. I know you like. I've never seen
What?
Dreamscape.
Dreams
Yeah. I
coming
can
out of
see
the
the
house with the
cover.
axe.
Yeah.
He's coming out of the house with the axe,
Yeah.
and there's the big cobra.
Ooh, I've never
That
seen-
is a great scary movie. It is really cheesy now. I mean, it's basically a guy in a
bet.
giant cobra rubber suit. It's amazing, but it's really that movie freaked
There's
me out.
also Roller Coaster. There's like a thriller called Roller Coaster. I've always wondered what that was, and I
Amazing.
bet
it's terrible.
And I remember the cover. Anyway, Sam Line asks us,
Oh, he did our T-shirt.
if there
nice.
was ever to be a TRS movie, who would you want to play you guys?
Well,
I would like mine to
right.
be
Or not even who
Gwyneth
this is.
Paltrow.
Steve Zahn.
Steve Zahn.
Or Ryan Reynolds, maybe.
Well, I'm not really Ryan Reynolds.
I don't like this guy.
You don't
style.
like him.
No. His humor and my humor, I don't
You
think
would
are
be
as much.
Putty.
Putty.
Who's that guy?
Yes,
Who plays
Patrick
the tick?
Warburton.
Patrick Warburton.
Putty.
Amazing.
I think
can't
I
have,
would
like,
be
Patrick Dempsey
I think
or-
I would be Daniel Faraday.
That could be.
What's his name?
Could be.
The guy who plays Daniel Faraday. Who
Yeah.
we need
Jeremy
to-
Davies. Quantum Theory. If you were designing a video game and it could be anything you wanted, what would it be?
Well, that's sort of, if we knew that, we would then be millionaires.
I think I got it with Heavy Rain, in a way. I would like that for other genres.
Oh, here's what I would like.
Okay.
I would like what Heavy Rain does, but in a different genre. I would like a role-playing game.
I just said that.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I did. No more jokes about me not listening. Yeah. It's off the books. Off the books.
I have this vision of a role-playing game where, or anything, where instead of dying or instead of just having to replay a sequence, it just dynamically goes to a new place.
Yeah.
And if you aren't able to defeat the big bad dragon, then the big bad dragon is still around
May
and
come
does
back
something
in
else.
some
and,
other way,
You
yeah.
know, that the game, like we keep saying, the magic of Heavy Rain is you don't know anything other than what your story turned out to be.
Right.
I actually really want like an Independence Day type story, alien invasion story. It's a first-person shooter, but you never get a gun. You always have to use things, and it's always
It's sort of like MacGruber versus Aliens.
Yeah.
sort of like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I kind of wished Mirror's Edge was going to be. Where,
Yeah, me too.
Like, you
But
never
not
get a gun.
parkour. Like it's just like.
Well, I like the idea of an action game where you never get a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all into that. Yeah. Okay. Real quick, Joel M2T, Back to the Future DeLorean or Kit?
Kit. Wait.
You're on the record.
Damn it! I wish I had my Back to the Future DeLorean. I could go back in time and say Back to the Future DeLorean.
That's why we would choose
That's why it's so great.
DeLorean. Okay. Warren.
Because you could have it for like a couple years, and then you could go back in time and get the kit.
Yeah. Guess what, though? You already made your choice.
I already made it. I said
War
it.
on Hate. What is your most watched movie, read book, listened to album? Not necessarily your favorite, but the most frequent. Like the thing
Wow.
you. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever
Nowadays-
seen any movie more than Star Wars. More times. Or the 3 Star Wars.
Unfortunately for me, I'm pretty sure I've never seen a movie more than Kickboxer, but all those viewings were in 1988. Was that or Pirates of the Penzance for me for movies?
For me, I think
Pirates
it's
of
got to be.
Penzance?
Yeah.
For me, I think it's got to be Star Wars.
Pirates of
the
Penzance?
original Star Wars. Maybe Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters possibly for me, too.
Yeah. Read book?
Because that's the one.
Most read book?
I don't
I
tend
will
to
only
read
read
things more
books
than once.
Yeah.
The only books I've read multiple. I too. I don't
I've read Lord of the Rings more than once.
I've only just started rereading books, and they were Perks of Being. I always reference this. Youth in Revolt. I reread.
Yeah.
Perks of Being Wallflower. And there's a book by Christopher Pike. Remember him? He wrote some adult books. He was famous for young adult books. He wrote a book called Season of Passage, Vampires and Martian stuff. Awesome book.
Oh, that's actually
I read
really
that a few times. Claw Cheezels asks,
Cheezels.
what was the first thing you played or watched or listened to that you were forbidden by your parents?
RoboCop.
I remember very vividly.
RoboCop.
Terminator 2. Yeah.
I don't know if this was the
Double
first, but
Impact.
this is the most
Yeah.
memorable, and it was. What was that movie? What was that movie with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines where they were cops?
See No Evil, Hear No.
No. Wait.
It's like See No Evil, Hear No Evil, but it's different. White Knight, Black Knight, White
Nope.
Knights,
Nope.
White Knights.
White Knights.
Nope. I want to say
Not ordinary people.
The cover is their
I know.
and
I
their
know.
car, and it's spray painted unmarked police car on it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
No, I know. They had it on. It was on HBO all the time. Don't do it.
I did it over at my friend's house. Watched it over at my friend's house. Knew I shouldn't be watching it because it was R.
Yeah. Oh, wait. In that case, a lot of booby movies on Cinemax. A lot of booby movies.
Okay, moving on. Andrew911TT says, what websites besides Slash Film do you visit every day?
Stick.
Yeah, I do Massively. I go to Massively. I'll go to. This is gonna really nerd me out, but when I get into an MMO, this is how I am. I go to the forums for Star Trek Online pretty much every day.
I'm on our forums every day.
I am definitely on our forums every day. That
Twitter.
website is always
Twitter.com. I always go to Twitter.
Shack
You do?
News.
I just
every
use
day.
I
check
don't like
Woot
that.
every night.
I check one cool thing a day every day.
I'm not aware of
And
that
by
one.
checking it, you mean post to it?
I'm not aware of that one.
HCT asks, what is the biggest gaming disappointment you have ever encountered?
God, well, ever encountered is pretty intense.
I feel like I just said it recently. I don't remember what it was, but didn't I? Was I? So
I was
disappointed in
majorly let
something?
down by Too Human. I was
Yeah.
majorly
I thought
let
you-
down. I like
Tabula
some of
Rasa was a real letdown
yeah.
for me because I was so excited. MMO, sci-fi.
Hellgate London.
But I could smell Hellgate London a mile away.
T. Floyd, who are each of us' favorite MMA fighter and pro wrestler?
Nice.
Mick Foley for me, professional wrestler. Well, I'm a
Interesting.
big fan.
I'm gonna do Goldberg because when I was watching was when Goldberg was like the shit.
Yeah.
And that's the last
See,
time I was watching.
All the smart marks out there are kind of think less of you now.
Yeah, because it's not even a WWE guy.
Well, it doesn't
No, it was
matter.
way back in the
Doesn't
day,
matter.
but I
He was
love-
a terrible
he was-
wrestler, and they put him over for
I know.
no real good reason.
My Ultimate Warrior, and the proof is in the
Ultimate
pudding
Warrior,
because
yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember chalk line jackets.
No, but that's.
You don't remember that they had the big like airbrush like picture of the like sports person on the back?
Amazing.
Mine was of the Ultimate Warrior.
I wish
So I
you
don't-
had that. I would
kill to see you
drive
in
in
that
my
right
DeLorean back in time
see
to
him.
see that so much.
Hey,
So
what's
I'd
going on
say
here?
for
Hey,
the
girls.
MMA stuff, I don't know if you guys have favorites.
I don't watch MMA, so.
But
I like that dragon guy. What's his name?
Yeah, Leota Machida.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
cool.
really good. I think for a long time I was a big Matt Hughes fan, and then I kind of saw a lot of Matt Hughes on The Ultimate Fighter, and I was sort of like, I don't know if I like him anymore. Oh God, what's that guy's name? The guy with the teeth.
Oh, he's got
the
teeth.
Beard.
You sure he's an MMA fighter?
I think his name's Arlovsky.
Wow, our memories.
But
aren't
anyway,
like
no,
that.
he's the big guy. I thought he could have been really, really good, but then he kind of pilled out. And got
That's our.
knocked out a couple
That's
times.
our. That's our.
It's good Twitter fun.
Speaking
What's
of
up?
piddling out,
Let's piddle out on Arlovsky. All right, everybody, before we bid you a fond farewell, we do want to thank our sponsors, such sponsors as Squarespace. If you guys have not checked out squarespace.com, I would reach through and slap you if I had James Cameron's abilities. Right? Because he
the
can
man
probably
can
make
slap.
that happen.
He can slap.
Through the video.
He's a slapper.
Because he knows so much 3D. Anyway, so Squarespace is the place to set up and host your website. They have the best WYSIWYG editor I have ever seen online. It is so easy. If you have any need for a website, go to squarespace.com, sign up for an account, get yourself started. Not only that, if you have a website already, maybe it's been up for years, they have a new importer tool where you can actually just go and go, yeah, that's my old website, but I want it to be a Squarespace site. Click, whole thing goes over.
Yeah.
Crazy how that stuff
you know what I
works.
really like? I'm one of those people, I'm sure you guys are too, where your friends are like, you know about web stuff. How do I start a website? It's so
Yep.
easy because now I just go
Squarespace.com.
Squarespace.com.
Yep.
And we have a promo code.
Promo code. If you use the code TRS when you check out, you get 10% off the entire lifetime of your order. Squarespace.com.
Gamefly.com is another sponsor of ours, and that's very cool because that is perfect for game addicts. And if you're watching our show, chances are you're a game addict. This is a way to get mainline games sent to your house. You don't even have to leave.
mainline games?
You don't even have to put on pants.
I hate pants. Wait, this is on record.
It's like I have a dream. You have a dream of if only I could get video games, but not have to put pants on.
Yeah.
Gamefly.com has delivered on that promise. You have a
Sans pants.
you have an online queue. You sit pantsless, put a new game in your queue.
Boo.
It gets
Put a
sent to
towel
you.
down or something.
Horrible.
Now, if you're gonna put rules and regulations on it,
Yeah.
Jeff, you didn't like to do that in our hotel room.
that's right, and I still don't.
That's why I go to GameFly.com.
$15.95. Nobody needs to put a towel down. You get the next game on your queue sent to you. You can play it as long as you want. There's no late fees. There's no.
Play them without pants. It doesn't matter.
It's pantsless. It's
The
amazing.
only time you may want to put pants on is to literally go to the mailbox.
Well, I
even
have
then,
I have a
iffy.
slot in my door, so I can stay
don't
inside
wanna
with no
know.
pants on.
Just don't. Watch where you're standing.
Yeah, watch where you're standing.
Mailman! That's what we call a
Amazing.
moon landing. I'm going to tell you about GoDaddy.com.
Well, let me just say real quick, if you're
it's
going
a
to go to
place to go.
gamefly.com, you have to go to gamefly.com/TTRS. You get a 2-week free trial. So you can see for 2 weeks whether you like not wearing pants or not.
It's amazing. I wonder how long I've gone in a stretch not wearing pants.
Guess what else? Guess what else you could do
That's what I was
pantsless?
thinking. I was like, could I go?
What's
2
that,
weeks
Dan?
without
You could buy a domain name.
Oh,
Wow.
amazing.
GoDaddy.com. Also, I'm sure if you watch the commercials, your pants are already off.
Amazing.
But
I'm gonna stop saying amazing. No.
yeah. GoDaddy.com. Get your hosting of domains there. You can also get a virtual dedicated server.
Is that like one of the girls from the commercial, or
A virtual dedicated server.
horrible? Horrible.
Virtual.
If you go to revision3.com/GoDaddy, they have a list of all the promo codes you can use to get money off your order. I recommend TRS10 for a $7.49.com
That
domain.
sounds flavorful. Just did it the other day.
I don't know if it's .com, but it's that's the domain.
Somebody asked me if I. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna go to the other part. So
Well,
what's,
I was gonna
you-
the amazing thing. Somebody asked me if I was gonna have my shirt. What saying what I had? I didn't know.
I don't know. I was thinking that for myself too. I was like, well, if I had a shirt, what would it
Funny,
be?
mine just sprang to their minds.
Yeah, it's true. I used to say rad a lot, but now since we named the show this, I don't really say rad very much
true.
because I don't want to be that.
You
I was
say Epic?
thinking, I do not say Epic anymore. I gave that off to the public, as we talked about last time.
magnanimous.
So maybe you should just say humility.
I was thinking maybe, I used to say that being said, but I've stopped saying that.
You gotta stop saying things.
You gotta
So
start saying.
also, if you've checked out the Oscars, which happened on Sunday, what?
What?
Yeah, they did happen on Sunday.
We are going to probably talk about that in the future. However, because it hasn't
have a
happened
bet.
yet. Right.
But we haven't seen
All I
it
was
yet.
gonna
so we
say
don't know
was-
who won.
Wait,
What
if you
happened
haven't-
was,
wait,
we shouldn't
if
be
you
doing
had-
that segment
I know, that's
then.
what-
But then we
my
realized we
brain-
haven't seen it yet
my
to do
brain
that segment.
broke. But who's two guys whose brains don't break are Patrick Norton and Robert Heron.
Yeah,
Those guys
they're
know how
better
to
than us.
host a show.
For sure.
Head over to revision3.com/HD Nation. They've got all the information for theater enthusiasts, all about Blu-ray stuff and HD TVs and new home theater systems. If you want to know anything
Watch
about that stuff,
show and then
watch it.
take notes about how people should host and send them to us because we would love to know how.
We don't need those emails.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of emails.
Speaking of Blu-rays, aren't you?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Somebody
but I do
here.
want to say, first of all, I want to say about emails. I have to apologize because
There's a lot of unread emails.
there's a lot of emails that have not been responded to, and it's because I have been extremely busy. I know what you're just referring to lately, and I haven't had a chance. I will, but I'm doing some new projects, and time has been scarce. But one of those new projects, I'm very happy to say, if you're Canadian and you get G4 Canada, I am on a show called Reviews on the Run every single day.
Crazy.
Reviewing Blu-rays with
it's
a
also
really
online,
awesome
right?
team and Vic Lucas.
Is it also online?
It is also online, reviewsontherun.com, or I think g4tv.ca. And that is only the start of what
You have a brewing.
So yeah, so stay tuned and
Good, so this is a busy guy.
am.
But if you would like to have an email either right on the show, obviously we did the Twitter thing before, or you have a background like Kyle Lane. I remember! You can send those to fans@totallyradshow.com.
yeah, just because you haven't gotten a response yet doesn't mean we're not reading them. Please,
We are
love
listening.
them. Yes.
Yes.
And Dan has something to say.
I think it's important that they go to jinx.com/TRS to get
I agree.
shirts. You're wearing one, show the.
Oh, I didn't even realize that, yeah.
You're wearing Nerd is the New Cool shirt.
Oh, that's my saying. Kind of. Our
Kind
saying.
of. Well, but we already
Me,
have that
it's
shirt.
okay.
Damn it.
Hey, you
my
want
face.
it?
Nerd is the New Cool.
Oh, it's on the back.
There's a pretty badass baseball tee.
Yeah, I like the
For if
baseball
you
tee.
have like a company softball
Right.
league, this is the shirt to wear.
Right, just buy
Yeah.
12 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, we also
And
take
then we have
orders
that
for small
awesome
little leagues.
logo, the handheld high. So
Yeah.
all the shirts,
Great
go to
stuff.
jinx.com/TRS.
Correct, Amundo. Well, that is it for this week's edition of The Totally Rad Show. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Until next time, stay rad.
And Frosty. Coming up on the Totally Rad Show, we are talking about the movie Alice in Wonderland. I'm sorry, I'm looking at you.
Ignore me. What are we doing? Oh yeah.
Who are we?
Yeah, right. Yeah, which night Shyamalan? See?
You go to M Night.
Shyamalan. Monday, M Night.
M Night. It's M Night.
Everyone's ready?
I'm ready.
I've been.
But you were right. You were
Stop, it's
proven
done.
right.
It's
I
done.
admit to
We're,
that.
no, we're
You
done.
have not admitted
No,
to that.
it's done.
Right now, I just did.
Both of you guys stop talking. Both of you guys stop talking.
Something of like,
Dude,
I could have been right.
after the segment.
could have, but
after
you
the
weren't.
But
segment.
you were sure I wasn't.
After the segment.
No, you aren't.
After the segment, you guys can argue all you want.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Everyone brings a chamois, and we put them on the lawn.
For our M Night Shyamalan.